Welcome to GlitchFeed Podcast, everybody, your number one source for everything gaming. Today, it's myself, Justin. We also have Sarah.
Hey.
And Troy along with us.
Hello.
So we're going to... Just hello? Troy,
hello.
You doing all right, Troy?
Yeah, I suppose.
You suppose. Okay. We're going to talk about gaming, Troy. It's good stuff.
Yeah. I've been reading the, what was it, the nihilist Arby's Twitter. The really sad Twitter.
Yeah.
It's like, life is futile and you're all going to die. Eat at Arby's. It's got me super bummed. So.
You know, it goes great with Arby's. Playing some video games.
Depressing sadness.
Playing, man?
Oh, right. Video games.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So we're going to actually kick it off this time. We're mixing up a little bit. So let's start with what we've been playing this week, Troy. Since you seem like a bundle of joy right now.
What have I been playing this week? What have I been playing this week? Oh, I sunk a lot of time into this little fun little adventure. I'm not going to call it a game yet. Called Panoramical. From, it was developed by two Swedish guys. It was published by Finji. We actually played it at RTX, but it's like really, really mellow, and it's a music-y thing.
Did you just play it?
Like, just played it?
Yeah, because you sound really, really mellow.
No, but I've been playing it every night since I've had it before I go to bed, and it's real cool.
It's a real cool game.
It's really cool.
You messaged me after you got it, and you were
sure.
like...
Go ahead and read what I wrote.
You want me to actually read it? Because I'd have to look it up. Can we wait?
I wrote, and I have it in front of me because I knew I'd say this. My exact words were the exact ones that I said, precisely, were, holy shit, I just want to get really, really high and play Panoramical in VR.
So what exactly is this game for people that haven't watched our interview or heard about the game yet?
So it's like a music visualizer, but you can control the music and the visualizer with your controller or your keyboard or your MIDI controller if you have one of those with the little knobs. You basically have like this scene that's in front of you and there's a little steady like a bass line or a beat or something going on behind it, and then you can toggle up like one of 8 different tracks, I guess, and you move it around in a kind of 2D plane, an XY plane, and where it's positioned affects like what effect is coming or what the levels are of that effect. It's basically like a mix board, but it's built in and it's running at a constant beat. And when you make changes to the audio, the world changes around you and the visuals change. So it's this very like mellowy kind of thing. It's hard to explain, but
some are mellow.
Nice.
Some levels are mellow. Other are really crazy.
There's a couple like little glitchy ones, but typically more often than not they end up being like you can just kind of turn all the lights off and stare really close to the screen and just kind of zone. So it's kind of cool.
I don't know. That's just one of the games you just play to relax.
Yeah.
You don't think about anything.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's not. I wouldn't call it a game because it's it's one of those my argument of like fail states and all that. But it's pretty nice.
Pretty nice. Sarah, what have you been playing? Since we're being chill on this podcast today.
I've been playing a lot of stuff. I played...
You have?
God, I have. Last week I started playing Party Hard. That's the first game I started playing. That game is fucking hilarious. It is really difficult too. Like there are some challenging things. The whole point is that you hate music. You hate parties that are going on. So you show up and try to kill everyone. And there's a set number. And the cool thing about this is I played it on Twitch. So I had the fan interaction going on.
What a smooth juxtaposition to my game of enjoying music.
It is, yes. It is a complete 360, right back where the music is. It's complete 180. And it was really cool.
Juxtaposition, if you will.
It was really cool playing with the followers on Twitter on Twitch because they would choose 3 things to happen while I'm playing, and more often than not, it would cause things to become more difficult for me. Sometimes it helped, but most of the time it was difficult. So I played that. Then I started playing Child of Light, which is a really beautiful game.
Mm-hmm.
Nice RPG.
It's okay.
It's very beautiful.
It's all right.
And I also played Love in a Dangerous Space-Time.
Explain this
Lovers in a Dangerous Space-Time.
Lovers.
Plural.
So this game, it is basically what happens is that you live in this world where love is just great. Love runs everything. And then suddenly the anti-love attacks and destroys the spaceship and you have to find all the pieces. So you travel around and they said it's like a mix between Faster Than Light and Mario in some way. I mean, it's basically you control the spaceship and you have stations. And so you have to navigate between all the guns and all of the navigation. And it's you and you can control an NPC and where they're going. But mostly you should be playing couch co-op. and you basically go through levels and have to collect bunnies and rescue bunnies and fight against aliens that are flying around, and you have to work together with either the AI or the person to survive this space.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. Nice.
I haven't played it yet. I'm playing it tonight.
I should watch your stream. It's like really, I don't know, I'm taken by it. Like I actually want to try it out.
Yeah, I actually, someone bought the game while they watched me play it. They're like, I just picked it up for $13.99 because it's on sale. And I'm like, that's great.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned the FTL part. That's the part that got me. Because I noticed how you had what was it, you and your dog? That you had to like send to different stations depending on what you wanted to do.
Right, yes. And I actually got it as a review copy, and I can't stop playing it. So, it's definitely something I would recommend, hands down. I almost bought it for Troy because I was like, I want to buy it for someone because I want to spend money on it and buy more. But I wish I had someone to play couch because there is no online co-op, unfortunately.
Well, a plane ticket isn't that expensive.
No. You're going to play with your significant other, and you guys are going to fight, and you're going to scream at each other, and it's going to be hilarious. So you better stream it.
We are, and I don't think we're going to do that.
I hope so. I hope she yells at you. I hope she gets really mad.
I doubt it.
Because you're not taking care of the shields, and you're getting hit by all the spaceships.
Well, we'll figure that out tonight. You can catch us on Twitch.
Make it like your flock video.
Right.
Which is, wait, do you still have those
3
up?
days ago. I have we did 2 episodes. I think they're on, they're on the channel.
Aren't
but
they
we
hidden?
actually did.
You never put them live.
I don't know, maybe. I don't remember. But I do, okay, segue. My girlfriend and I are doing Twitch streaming now.
Are you doing,
we're playing
through Xbox?
No, through PC.
Okay, I wasn't sure.
Thank you again for figuring that shit out for me too. Everything looks great now.
Oh, it works now? Okay.
It does. I greatly appreciate it. You were totally right.
I'm not taking credit for it because someone had to tell me.
But we've been streaming Grim Fandango. It's one of her favorite games as a kid. She played it a lot. I would normally not have the patience for it without her, so it's been pretty interesting. I'm having a lot of fun with it. I think we're gonna keep it up because it's a lot of fun. But we've been putting the videos up on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/playdate. So they're just the stream archives. I'm not doing too much to them. So
awesome.
Yeah.
So Justin, what have you been playing?
Actually, first starting off, I found a big sale on Mad Max, so I actually tried that out for a little bit.
Nice.
It's not bad.
Really? I thought it was disappointing.
No, disappointing for some, but it's by Avalanche. Avalanche really never made that bad of a game. If you like Batman-type combat and you like decent car driving, I mean, that's all it is. It's
but
awesome.
I feel like it didn't do enough of that. It just kind of threw the elements together. It felt really, I don't know, cobbled together, I think.
You would think so, but no, I'm actually playing it. It feels good.
No,
it feels
it
nice
did.
to play
I played it.
It
It felt like that to me. That's why I haven't brought it up, because I didn't like it.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't like it.
Yeah,
Did you take advantage of the refund?
No, no, I'm too cheap for that. I'm too not cheap. Anti-cheap for that.
Well, I bought it for $20, so I'm not even complaining.
Yeah, it wasn't, I don't know. It wasn't that great. I put some hours into it, but yeah.
Well, let's give him at least
props. It wasn't worth talking about. It wasn't bad enough to be bad game worthy, and it wasn't good enough to be good game talk worthy. It's kind of in between.
It's just one of those things. The further you get, the more it's enjoyable. Because I haven't the beginning of it. It's a bit of a grind. Once you start getting your car built up, and you get more abilities. That's where you kind of get more fun out of it. But actually, give him props for being the first Mad Max that's actually Australian.
Oh yeah. Is he the first one that's Australian, though?
Yes, yeah. Actually, when the first trailer came out, they did have an American voice actor. People kind of got pissed about it. They went back and recast an actual, Australian voice actor to play this, Australian character. But no, Mel Gibson doesn't count. And Tom Hardy definitely doesn't count. So yeah, there we go. But other than that, yes, more Metal Gear Phantom Pain, which I feel like I didn't give this that much due last podcast. A little bit out of it, a little bit cut off guard, a little bit sick, actually. Kind of had this thing.
Well, and then the game had just come out 2 days ago too, so it wasn't like it was.
It is. So I didn't
we gave you a lot of time to prep for it.
I did not. I had
2 days.
2 days roughly.
Yeah, of physical world time, not even time in game.
Yeah, and that's mixed with all the work and all that crap. So
right,
I probably played maybe a couple hours before we got a chance to talk about, which is not even enough to even chisel a little bit out of this game.
So let's do that now then.
Let's do it now. Let's
talk about Metal Gear Solid.
Let's talk about I say chisel a little bit out of the game. I probably put at least 30 hours into the PlayStation version. Same thing on a PC actually, because I've kind of been alternating between them.
You got two versions?
I bought the PS4 version. I got the PC version for free.
Oh, okay.
It came along with the video card. The thing is, I was actually joining on the PC version until I got an S rank, and then I saw a Steam achievement popped up. I'm like, I'd rather get a trophy. So I swapped over to PlayStation 4.
Hmm.
Anyways, about 30 hours in, I'm only like 20% complete with this game. Like, it very much wants you to know how much more you have to go.
Hmm.
But what's so great about Metal Gear, like, the beginning's a bit of a grind. Well, I wouldn't say grind, it's really, again, I was saying how intense the cinematic was at the start. And then it takes like a couple missions, and that's when it just opens up and lets you go. And this is more one of those games, like, yeah, there's a story in it, of course it's a Metal Gear game, but it doesn't throw it in your face. It's not all cutscenes like the previous one. It's actually more of a game that you kind of tell stories from playing it, just because how the world's built. It's just the randomness of it, how many things can happen while you go into a mission, how you can tackle any mission the way you want, or just roam around the open world, attacking bases, being a land pirate, taking everything in between, which I recently have been doing as well. And then every now and then, like, these story scenes actually catch you off guard, because, like, you're going into it, and then just seamlessly, like, all of a sudden cutscene starts going in. And I actually did mention before, you got mad at me for saying, like, a continuous shot, but, I mean, that's... Again, never seen that in a video game where, like, the camera just never breaks away from you. And there's, like, no cuts, nothing like that. Like, it goes from just follows the scene all the way through. Which is kind of just an interesting way to showing a cinematic into it. But what makes Metal Gear so great is the moment-to-moment gameplay. I mean, for one thing, you're heading to one mission, then you see outpost over here. You look over there, guys who want to, like, recruit to build your base up. There's just whole, like, micromanaging aspect to it, too. And it's great for people who love Metal Gear. It's great for people who haven't played Metal Gear before, are kind of afraid of the story. And it's also one of those games, if you just want something to chip away at for a bit, you could play a little bit of it and feel like you still, like, done something. Even though your percentage wouldn't let you feel that way, that's pretty much how it goes. Because, like, you just do one mission that takes probably, like, 5 minutes. It's definitely Peace Walker 2, or the beefier version of Peace Walker. But actually, we had some news to go along with this as well. Unfortunately, it seems one of the companions is quiet. If you play on a certain couple missions, which probably nobody's going to get to these missions by the time you have there, by the time they actually patch this, because they are definitely working on it now. But mission 29 and 42, if you bring quiet with you, it possibly can corrupt your file. And seeing how many hours it takes to get to those missions, I think I'm only like on probably 20. And that's like 30 hours in. That can be devastating. So how about you two? You have any thoughts? You have any questions?
I saw a really cool mod where they switched the chick with Quiet, and it was during a shower scene. Mm-hmm. I didn't get the context, but it was really funny seeing Quiet showering and rubbing his body like the girl probably did.
Wow. You got characters mixed up. Quiet is the girl. That is Ocelot.
Ocelot, whatever.
But I know the video you're talking about. Yeah, like all the Quiet scenes, they replaced it with Ocelot. I just saw another GIF like
I saw the
2 minutes before we started of like when they replaced him with one of the dogs or something.
Yes,
too.
They replaced him with the puppy when like Snake lifts him up in the air.
Yeah, I just watched that one a minute ago and I was like,
so you see him just holding up Ocelot and just kicking his legs around,
like a glitchy way.
A very glitchy way.
Yeah.
But about this experiencing it on 2 different platforms. There are advantages of playing on console and playing it on PC. Console, actually, not a lot of people are talking about that. They have this cool companion app. Definitely built more for a tablet. You can use it on an Android phone and iPhone, but the like button presses are so like small and precise. There's a little bit of pain in the ass to do. But basically, like, the companion app is your map or iDroid in the game. Like, it's interactive. It shows exactly what it will show on your map, like where enemy locations are. You can actually click where you want your let's say if you have Quiet, you can control where she goes on it with that. You could pick where your pickup points are. It's actually a really cool app that not a lot of people are talking about.
I don't think companion apps are going to be a thing. I'm just going to say that. I don't think they're ever going to be a thing.
This one's a good one, though.
It could be good, but at the same time is that even if it's as good as it is, it means I have to go and look at a different screen, move my head, let go of my controller. Whereas, like, for example, the Wii U, whenever they do something with the Wii U gamepad, usually it's more successful when it's a whole different view for a whole different person.
Well,
and they don't even have to look at the screen.
Like, your map's not constantly up in Metal Gear. You constantly switch to the iDroid. You kind of have the iDroid in a corner, but you have to move slowly into first-person mode to do it. Now, the companion app lets you have your map up 100% of the time. You can zoom out, zoom in. So it's neat for people
I guess,
who want to do
but
that.
at the same time is that if I'm using an iPad, I'm going to have to set down my controller to look at the map. Like, it seems clunky to me.
Or you prop it up.
That's still, it still requires you to do something separate instead of like 2 monitors where you have a map on the second monitor as an external thing that way. Like if you were pushing, you could actually capture your screen with your iPad on the monitor.
Actually, have you tried? How many programs do you know that can actually do that?
You could find one. I mean, I'm just saying that's more reasonable to me in my head than having, like, I've used companion apps before, and I see their value, and I see it's very smart to have maps or to have things to do, but I would much prefer to press the circle button or whatever button it is to pull up the map than have to worry about using my other hand to do it.
Well, some are a pain in the ass to make you do like these. Well, it's pretty much a phone game that makes you get resources to go into the main game. One that I guess kind of a bit infamous is Assassin's Creed Unity one, which actually locked in-game content behind the companion app game. Like, you had to do stuff in that to get stuff in the main game, which was stupid, and they actually eventually passed that out. But the thing that's cool about this, like, it's more of a utility. You can use it if you want. It actually works out pretty well. It's pretty responsive. It's like one-to-one to what's actually happening in the game. But but the map is, as I'm saying, like, there's pros and cons for playing on systems. Maps only available or companion apps only available on PS3, Xbox One, and PS4. Not 360, not PC. Now, of course, I keep forgetting this game is out for last gen consoles. This is actually on Xbox 360 and PS3, with something that keeps, like, I honestly forget, because you're playing it, you kind of like, how can this be on there? But hopping on PC, besides like having like you definitely better visuals, further draw distance. The cool thing about this game is there's like a lot of tapes you can pick up in game, and you can play these while you're doing your missions. You can actually set these to your helicopter, that you'll like hear it blast when your helicopter comes in, when it lands, when it's coming in for air support. It's like continuously playing while it's like a mode down, people are picking you up. PC version actually lets you put in your custom tracks.
Oh, I remember you saying that on Twitter.
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's one of my buddies saying he was looking for like an Aerosmith track or something.
You do Aerosmith. I mean, Troy, you could play and put some Taylor Swift on there. Just coming in to save the day, man.
Just be careful about putting Eye of the Tiger.
Why should I be careful about Eye of the Tiger?
Sorry, not gaming.
Was that a political joke?
Yes, it was.
Wow.
Jesus.
But it was
Come
funny.
on, man. No, well, it was barely... Come on.
The situation, if you don't know about it, Google it, because it's hilarious.
Boo.
Boo on you, Sarah.
Yay to them.
No.
No, it's fine. I'll make a... Just mark this time. I'm going to make a NPR joke at some point in this podcast.
Okay.
I'm not marking this time, but go for it.
Mark my words, rather.
2024.
Time.
But yeah, it's a cool feature that you can't get on the other versions. And it's not like you have to mod it to play it. They actually just have a folder in your files that you just drop your tracks in, and then it's automatically in the game.
That's not that revolutionary an idea, though, either.
No, but
Grand
the fact...
Theft Auto 4 did it.
No, Grand Theft Auto 4 did it, but it's cool when you can set it to your helicopter and you have coming in like a wrecking ball when it's like shooting up shit. Or as one person's video saw, like they actually had John Cena's entrance music, and then they kind of kicked in fighting, like right when it drops
over
it.
that. So over.
You say that, but until you play it and do it, you're fine. But yeah, I mean, I'm loving this game. It's sad that Fox Studios is kind of broken up. Kojima's I think the rumor is they're all leaving or being forced to leave in December. And which sucks about this, like, this game has such a good framework, such a good foundation to actually add just more missions in. Like, they could have a prime area to do DLC for extra missions, extra side missions, or even if they want to do a bit more of a story, and you're not going to see that, because I can't imagine Konami keeping that up. But that's kind of why I'm bummed out about it.
Didn't Konami say when they announced that he was leaving that they still would have Metal Gear, like the franchise would go on? The
franchise will go on, yes, but I can't see him actually developing like story content or more missions for it. I think what they will be developing is stuff for multiplayer, and that's it.
Metal Gear Go.
Oh, don't.
Metal Gear Go.
Well, speaking of Go, Troy,
sure.
Would you like to bring up something?
Yeah, so Pokemon Go was announced on Thursday. It's essentially an ARG or an AR game. Yeah, an ARG, I guess technically. From the makers of Ingress, the mobile game.
Who are actually the makers of, or a guy from Google Maps.
Yeah, it was a Google venture that kind of took off.
Yeah. Funny thing about that, though, wasn't this like Google April's Fool's joke like last year? I looked at the trailer and like the same trailer for this almost. Sort
of. You kind of like went around Google Maps and caught Pokemon.
No, like
when I brought it up, that was the first thing my girlfriend asked about. Was like, oh, like that Google thing last year that I did all 100.
But don't you remember the trailer for it? Like they actually have people,
right
going in like a wilderness and they like see, oh, there's a Charizard in a cave through their phone, and they like flick their phone at it and threw a Pokeball.
Cool. Well, now it's real.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a free-to-play mobile game coming in 2016 to iOS and Android. That essentially it's kind of like Ingress, where it's based around the real world, roaming the real world, and finding Pokemon in the wild and catching them. And then you can, based on where your phone is and location services, can find trainers nearby and trade and battle them. There's in the trailer they also announced basically world events where they had a bunch of people run into Times Square, and there's Mewtwo was there, and it said defeat Mewtwo and a big timer, and everyone's Pokemon kind of battled them at once. So they've got a lot of opportunity. Ingress is an amazing game, and on its own. So if the creators Niantic can produce the quality of Ingress with the franchise of Pokemon, I think it'll be fantastic.
Right. And they also said, too, that, the team, Niantic, is running it, but also Pokemon Company and Nintendo, of course, is part of it. And then
No, of course. I guess I meant the framework.
Oh, no.
Let the people who are very good at alternate reality games
sure.
do their work and mix it in with the back end and the gamification of Pokemon.
And then with the director of Game Freak also hopping in.
Yeah.
Of course. It's obvious, but at the same time, it's this. It's going to be Ningress or Niantic is awesome and they're great, but it's not going to be a spin-off that isn't true to the series. So if you're still obsessed with the series, the same key players are going to be in it too, which is plus and minus, depending on how you look at it.
Sure. It's going to be a different experience from the RPG elements of the game, of the handheld games, in that you're the protagonist moving through the story, as far as we know. But I think it'll be a more social game. And I think it's kind of the best option of bringing Pokemon to the mobile scene. We've saw Nintendo kind of branch into the mobile world in the last year with the partnership with DNA, as well as Pokemon Shuffle and Pokemon Battle Arena, especially with Pokemon Shuffle coming to mobile in the last month-ish, 2 months maybe.
Oh yeah, it started on 3DS first.
Yeah, it started on 3DS for about a year, and then it came to maybe more than a year, and then it came to mobile very recently, in the last month or 2 or 3. So they're definitely targeting mobile, and I think Pokemon is a good model, a good franchise for that model. I think it plays very well into the social aspects of Pokemon, and trading and battling and collecting. I think plays really well into the new mobile scene. So hopefully it's kind of the best of both worlds.
What was that?
What's that?
I'm still confused how this is going to work out and control. They gave you a trailer, but it's a huge concept trailer. It doesn't really give you...
Oh, no, of course. There's a lot of... They promised, I think, a lot more than they show. They showed the actual... It will be coming with there'll be an optional peripheral, basically a pin thing.
Pokemon
Bluetooth.
Go Plus.
Yeah, it's a... What?
It's called Pokemon Go Plus, and it's a Bluetooth device.
Yeah,
I'm actually reading
the
thing. It's a small device.
I didn't know it was Pokemon Go Plus.
Yeah, it enables players to enjoy the game even when they're not looking at their smartphones. So
Right, so it's basically a little dongle thing that you can... it has a notification light and a couple buttons, and you can... the notification light tells you when either there's a Pokemon around or someone's battling you or something, and you can react with the buttons, rather than sitting and staring at your phone.
Right. And it definitely looks a lot like the Pokewalker that came with...
It does.
Heart Gold, Soul Silver.
Yeah, which
I think
was pretty
this
nice.
is super dumb. I think there's a better opportunity for them to integrate with Android Wear and Apple Watch than they need to be developing, rather than developing a whole new hardware device. I think there are things already available to them that they could interact with if they don't want people staring at their phones. I get their idea, though, is they don't have to have customers have another $300 buy-in to have this hands-free. But on the other end of that, there's a device that will do it much better on the market already.
Maybe they'll have a Apple Watch device. I think the thing is with this, it's so simple for everyone to get access to it, where the Apple Watch, like you said, I'm not buying an Apple Watch ever. It's great.
No, but I agree. But then there's things like Android Wear, which is significantly less expensive. I think there's a better second screen. We're back to the second screen discussion. There's a better second screen for a phone than a LED and a button.
Sure. No, I agree.
On the wrist.
I would think it would be smart for them to do both, and kind of for the kids. Because if kids these days,
I guess my point is, if they don't have both, they are shooting themselves in the foot.
Yes. Because I think
I get the point of the cheap dongle. It does make sense, and I agree. One of their main examples was children having the device and pairing it with their parents' phone to have like the parents playing with the kids kind of thing. That sounded wrong.
It makes sense.
Not like playing with them.
It makes sense for me, kind of how they showed it, and I'm assuming this is how it works, because they say you can use it to catch Pokemon. Is it to be like, to give you that interactive feature of throwing a Pokeball and physically throwing the device and using that
as far
button?
as I understood it, it was more, I don't think you throw the device, first off. Ridiculous.
Well, I mean,
I
that's
would
why
see
you have
this
the
in a park.
special protective like strap that you always put on so you don't accidentally throw something into your TV.
I think it's more of just like
I want to see this happen at a park.
I don't think that's going to happen.
This is what's
but-
going to happen. There's going to be
I mean, I guess
videos
you
that
could
come
press
out.
the button and then throw the thing.
No,
but
there's
no,
going to be videos that come out that's just going to be like fails, Pokemon Go Plus fails of people just throwing the device at people's heads
Not a
or like
device.
into water or something.
Watch a kid
It's
just
gonna
throw the phone thinking that's how it works.
It's going to be the
Yeah.
Wiimote all over again.
That'll be bad. But so I think it's going to be cool. I think it's going to be like the first. It's a perfect melding for this generation. I think to not only get them into Pokemon, but get our generation back into the franchise, who maybe have fallen off the handheld market.
Here's a question, because they don't talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
Freemium.
Oh yeah, it's free to play. It's going to be totally
It's-
freemium.
It's freemium. So I mean,
Yeah, totally.
you sit there and you think, okay, you go around, you find random Pokemon based on your location, you can catch them, but obviously they show Pokeball types. Maybe you have to buy better Pokeballs. Maybe
No, I think that'll definitely be the case.
Yeah.
Pokeballs are free, but they suck. But
Mm-hmm.
you can buy Great Balls and Master Balls for more money.
Let's be honest, there's no way you're catching a level 34 Charizard with a Pokeball. Come on.
No, maybe if you put it to sleep
Come
and
on.
attract it, and it's at 1 HP with false swipe. But you're right.
Nerd.
Well, I spend a lot of time
I
doing
do know.
dumb shit.
I do know.
But yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting. It's going to be a freemium model, but I think with what Pokemon Shuffle was doing, where you can basically play the game for free and it won't impact it, as well as Ingress, where that was as far as I remember playing it, totally free game. And you could still enjoy it without paying any money. And I think a lot of the enjoyment came from physically moving around and basically getting out in the world and exploring to play the game. So I think even if it is freemium, I think it'll be okay.
Right.
I'm a little bit afraid of what that means for Pokemon, but I guess I'm not terribly worried about it.
I mean, you should be, because apparently this means Pokemon are coming to the real world and a Pikachu could attack you.
Shut up. Just shut up. Shut your mouth.
Walk by a bush, you get stuck.
Shut your mouth.
Shot randomly. But
So moving on.
So would
That's
this be
pretty much
Nintendo's
Pokemon.
official first leap into the mobile world?
No, I just said Pokemon Shuffle came out like 2 months
No.
ago on mobile.
Oh, I forgot that did. My bad. I was thinking DS like when you said it. Whoops.
Literally,
I was.
no, mentioned it was Android and iOS a minute
You
ago. Yeah, they came out on mobile.
Where's my attention span?
I want to say 2 months ago. It hasn't been that long, but it's been longer than like a couple of weeks, I feel like. So yeah.
Well, either way, like, this is the franchise leading the charge with mobile for Nintendo, right?
I think so.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I think they said there was supposed to be a Mario Kart game that's supposed to come out by the end of the year.
Yeah.
And this is 2016. There is going to be other ones coming out, so we'll see what happens.
I like I said, I think I said this before, Pokemon's probably the best one to bring to mobile. I think that's one of their best options in terms of franchises and what they have. I think that's probably the best one to bring.
Sure.
Excellent. Well, get into that. Sarah, you wanted to bring up something.
I did. No segue here. Binding of Isaac Afterbirth. Let's talk
That
about
was a
games
bad
that are
segue to
appropriate
get
for
here.
children.
Oh, yeah.
So we got an announcement this week about Binding of Isaac's upcoming DLC, which I've been keeping an eye on for the past 6 months. And we actually got a release date. Binding of Isaac Afterbirth will be coming out on October 30th of this year.
Sidebar, we got a lot of release dates this week.
We did get a lot of release dates.
We did.
I don't have any of them in front of me though, so we're gonna keep talking about Binding of Isaac.
Yeah, no, fine. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I just
It happens. Look them up yourself. But so I guess I play Binding of Isaac Rebirth a lot. Troy, yes or no? You've played Binding of Isaac
a lot. I wouldn't say a lot.
I mean, I've died
played
down, but I mean,
I've
you've
played it.
And Justin,
Played a little bit of it. I enjoyed what I played. But I never got heavy into it.
okay, cool. So I get to. Hopefully, you guys get the references I'll be making about all this extra stuff.
Yeah, go
But
for it.
Binding of Isaac Rebirth, which came out about a year ago, was basically a absolutely crazy remaster of the original Binding of Isaac, and it involved 4 billion randomly generated rooms. It involved like 500 hours of gameplay. It involved situations where you'd never see the same item twice because it is a pure, dungeon crawler fun game. And so it kind of was interesting to me to kind of see what they were going to bring to the table, because just introducing a few new items would completely change the game. Just introducing a few new rooms would completely change the game. But they went above and beyond for Afterbirth, and they gave us some statistics of what is going to be coming to the game. So I can talk about this for a while.
Yeah,
feel free to ask questions or whatever.
Let's get into like the gameplay by an ISX for those who know, because it's kind of like a twin-stick shooter, but the levels feel like you're moving through like a classic Zelda dungeon. A classic, I mean like Nintendo. I don't know why, like that's just how I feel when I went room to room. Like it kind of had that side-scrolling. Now you're the other one. Go up here.
It does feel like a Zelda dungeon. I will corroborate that. Not in the just in the aesthetic,
yeah, like the NES
necessarily,
type. Actually, specifically the NES dungeons.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely did with the top-down view of going through the rooms. But you systematically go through the rooms. Twin-stick shooter is basically you move with one stick, you shoot tiers with the other, you pick up items to augment your character. So you can pick up an item that gives you a certain type of weaponry or a certain type of resistance or a certain type of ability. And as you go through each of these floors, you get this new build, this new combo of a character. And your goal is to kind of survive, unlock more items, get deeper in the floors where you unlock more bosses, and as always, I mean, with 4 billion different seeded areas that you can access, seeded runs, you're going to face a new combo every single time. And that's in the Binding of Isaac Rebirth. So Afterbirth, which has a set price of $9.99, but if you pre-order, it will be less, so it's only a $10 game, is going to add an extra approximately 100 hours into the game. Oh, that's what they say. I don't know how they can add hours to this because...
I don't know how to be approximate with that.
Like a set, isn't like a set length.
Yeah, well, it's like 100 plus, but it's like... I guess that means the plus is you could keep playing nonstop and face new things. And so
with what was it, 4 or 6 billion levels, you probably could play the game
as
many times as you'd like without ever seeing the same thing.
Exactly. You're never going to really see the same thing. You will run into similar combos. Like you'll run into things that will augment it the same way where you're like, this is really cool, but you're always going to see something interesting.
If there's a finite number, then you will see everything in an infinite world.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you'll probably see everything, but not the combos is what it's at. Because like, for example, there's an item you can get that causes you to shoot a beam from your mouth. And then there's another item that allows you to have floating tiers. And so these two items are really cool where you've controlled a tier and it just floats around instead of shooting it. When you combine those together, it's a floating beam of death in a giant circle. And that's the only time you can see that is with those two specific items in that specific combo. So that's what makes it cool, because that gives you a distinct advantage. Whereas other times you might get absolutely shafted and you have to rely on just dodging skills, on like pure strategy, everything like that.
Yeah, I'm scrolling on this page.
Also known as every time I've tried to play the game.
They got this absolutely just one that's just like it fills the room with lasers that you just walk through. It's freaking crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So basically, I guess we can go through the general stuff before I can get through numbers, is that the main game will have, with this one, it will expand it like any DLC, a new final area with another new final boss and ending. So that's kind of the goal, is to get to these new areas, fight these bosses, unlock an ending. They also are giving you daily runs where they're going to do randomly generated seeds or dungeons. And there will be leaderboards, so you can basically pay attention to how your friends play and try to beat their times. And there will be a whole new greed mode. Greed as in you will have one room. It's all about the risk versus reward. And you'll fight against waves of monsters, randomly generated monsters. Then you'll fight a boss, and then you'll get a reward before you go to the next level. So those are the three big things. But I mean, for example, the game includes challenges, which is specific runs with specific items and specific floors. There'll be 10 new challenges. There will be over 1,000 new rooms, which includes different room styles, so that there's tiny rooms, closets, and new hallways. There's rooms that focus on specifically like fire rooms, burning rooms that could initiate like a 10% chance that all of the creatures are on fire, and so on and so forth. So there's all of these new rooms
and so forth
to figure out exactly what's going on.
I feel like you just yada 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 through the best parts.
Yeah. And it's, well, I don't have the exact examples. I can go through them in a little bit, but there'll be a totally new player, Lilith. You can play as Lilith, the mother of demons.
Nice. I think.
Yeah.
Or not.
I mean,
I don't know.
the characters are fun because when you unlock more characters, it changes not only your strength and situations, but it allows you to have like different strategy, like weight or speed or weapons. Like it kind of gives you that fun aspect of it. And each character tracks your progress, so you have to go through the entire, like you go to the heart with one character, it'll track it for that character only, so it's kind of a challenge to get all the characters to go throughout the entire dungeon. Take a breath, breathe. Any questions, boys?
No, I think you're covering it pretty well.
I am covering. I'm looking at this list that I got. Okay, so let's talk items, because items are a big deal. There's 120 new items, and there's a bunch of new pickups, chests, pills, bombs, etc. So these items basically allow you to do specific things. One of the items, as I scroll down and get to it, is it's called the restock, which allows you to basically use the item to restock the items that you'll potentially buy from the store.
There's a store?
There are stores. Have you never gotten to a store yet?
No.
Okay, Troy, just listen.
Okay.
Don't be part of the
I'll be over
conversation
here.
anymore. Yeah. Another item is the gold on the gold question mark on the head, which all treasure rooms become double treasure rooms, which means you get 2 items per room, but you only get to pick one of them. So I mean, there's cool new things that affect that. Lots of cool, fun stuff. There's also 8 new bosses, which do really crazy stuff. There's one boss that takes off his head, and it transforms into a spider and runs around and tries to kill you.
How
There's
charming.
Gross.
Yeah, there's another boss that basically throws bombs at you, but also can teleport them through wormholes, so they will appear where you're standing. So he'll just drop it in a hole and it'll pop up and try to destroy you.
All right.
There's another pinhead, which if everyone knows what the pinhead, they're annoying worms. Those are always fun. So there's a bunch of new bosses that they announced as well. And plus there's 25 new enemies, not including alternative enemies, including a big bat, a fat bat, and a tiny champion. So lots of fun, cool stuff.
Groovy.
And finally, outside of all the new achievements, there are 20 million new co-op babies.
Babies. That's all I want, more co-op babies.
Yeah. So, Troy, if you play with Sin,
I did, and it was awful.
the babies, there's 20 million new options for whoever is the scapegoat goat that sucks at the game will be able to potentially be when they keep dying and coming back to life.
Yeah, and then takes one of your hearts and then kills you.
Yes. So I'm very excited for this game.
You've
I need
always
to play
been excited for this game.
Yeah, I mean, I have. It's really cool to watch this game come out, the development and everything. So it's always fun to see that, to see what's going on, to see the cool things that happen. Like there's this one combo, once again, with the giant lasers where you use it and it's just a room full of red light because you're just causing all these issues. It's just really funny stuff. So it's $9.99. And I mean, it says DLC. I'm not exactly sure. It doesn't say if you need the original game.
Probably need the original game.
I'm assuming so. So keep an eye out for those sales for the original game. I think it's $13 or $15, which isn't bad. And I mean, if you pick up the original game and start playing it now, you're gonna have a lot to do before you get the DLC. So
Yeah, I'll say anybody is a fan of that's definitely I guess this is a dungeon twin stick shooter.
it's a roguish. Is that what the official term is?
Well, kind of. Roguelike.
Roguelike. It's a roguelike.
Might be the.
I mean, it's a twin stick roguelike game because.
Well, speaking of shit, there's a lot of that in the game.
Yeah,
too.
there's a lot of poop. It's because they say it is randomly generated dungeons.
But a
it's a
ton of
dungeon
gameplay
crawler.
out of this. It's definitely worth it to anybody who's a fan of this type of gameplay.
It is the most replayable game I've ever seen because
will give
you
that.
never see the same thing twice, and it's always a challenge.
Always a challenge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
By nice Afterbirth.
So I mean, check it out. I know. I don't know if it's on sale right now, but I know there's a bunch of sales at the Humble store this weekend.
Oh, you want to mention?
Yep.
Humble
End of the
Bundle?
summer sale. I think it is actually on sale. I think I might have saw it on the.
I think the original's on sale.
Well, whatever.
So, and the
Well,
original's
it's-
pretty good too. It's not.
Always having a sale, but they're doing a pretty good one right now.
Yeah, I mean, they just recently did it so you can name your own charity, but it's the summer sale over again. So all of the games are pretty crazy. I was going through them. Killing Floor 2. I don't know what's some big ones. Don't Starve is
get
on
that
there as well, which
Unibop.
we all love.
Get
Unibop,
Unibop?
Outlast,
Yeah, get it.
Towerfall Ascension, which is one I love. I'm actually looking at a lot of the horror games because I want to do a lot of horror stuff.
Playing the
So,
same
like,
thing. So
Among
actually-
the Sleep is on there.
Among Sleep is good.
So, I mean, definitely check it out. HumbleBundle.com
So this was-
store.
This was the list of stuff you're just listing off to us before we started recording.
Skylines. 33% off.
Oh,
No.
I got some Worms Revolution Gold. Look at Yes.
Yeah, so definitely check it out. Always good to have a sale. It's the end of summer sale. Lots of really good stuff.
Not to mention, their bundles right now are just good too. They got a whole Ubisoft Tom Clancy bundle going on. It's pretty awesome. And
I bought that.
Did you? It's worth it, dude.
Yeah.
Like $10, you can get pretty much every. Well,
I bought it just for Blacklist.
just for Blacklist, not a bad.
Pretty much.
Future Soldier's pretty good too. Well, I mean, $10 though, not bad. I mean, I love how like the Rainbow Six Siege. I think we're drowned in Siege betas right now, so that not good for us. But still, it got in more all the Splinter Cells pretty much, and most of the Rainbow Sixes. So that's pretty cool. But no, I think that's about wraps it up actually for this podcast. We're hitting about that length right now.
Sure.
So let's go ahead and close it out. So Troy, where can everybody find you at? You said you're doing a Twitch now.
What?
What?
Huh?
Where can everybody find you at now?
He doesn't want anyone to find him.
You don't want anybody to find you?
No one cares about me. No one needs to find me.
So here's the metagame. Find Troy when he's twitching, and find his Twitch.
It's
And,
funny because Troy tweets about it using the GlitchFeed Twitter.
Here's why. I can tell you why I do this. Because Twitter on the web is really not a user-friendly when you have multiple tweets, multiple Twitter accounts. So, like, often I will tweet thinking I'm on my own Twitter account, and I am not.
What's also funny because your last tweet actually said, "Hey, come watch at Tferio," which means that you acknowledge that you're using the GlitchFeed account.
That one I might have used
to tweet about it.
Well,
just like you tried to say that you didn't use the L word for Brawlhalla, and yet our video that covered Brawlhalla, you used the L word.
That was not the use of the same term. I don't feel like.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Troy likes to remain hard to find. Sarah, where can everybody find you at? You got your Twitters and you got your Twitch.
Yes, I do. Twitter's the best way to figure out what's going on because that's where I usually announce stuff. But if you want to follow me, you can too. It is the Elysi, ELYESSI, and that's where I tweet all about my stuff. Tweet about GlitchFeed as well, though you should follow us at GlitchFeed. And I'm also Twitch is just Elysi, Twitch TV/Elysi, and I stream on Saturdays.
Well,
and other days.
And other days when you feel like it.
It's like every day.
Goes. Yeah, pretty much. And that's pretty much how it's going for me, too. You can catch me at The Agent Gamer on Twitter. Same thing with Twitch, Agent with an E, because Agent without the E was taken everywhere else. Anyways, European devs love it. But actually, best way to find out, follow me on Twitter, because I'm actually testing the waters on YouTube gaming as well. So that's the best way to figure out when and where I'm tweeting. Hard set in stone, I'll be twitching every time is 8 o'clock Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern, pretty much. And I think that's about it. We already covered, you already mentioned GlitchFeed. Of course, just go to glitchfeed.com. Easiest way. Get you right to our YouTube page. Don't really have to search that much for it. And actually just look up GlitchFeed. All one word, we pretty much pop up right at the top there.
And check it out because we do tweet about our YouTube videos. It's on YouTube.
Yes,
and we're doing a lot of
coming out every weekday.
Yeah, and we're doing a lot of other stuff too. We're doing coverage on the games that we're reviewing. For example, I will be talking about Lovers in Dangerous Space Time for special video coverage, and we also do some crazy stuff that's not quite news, but we still want to talk about it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We have a couple new ideas thrown out there. You want to mention any of those?
No, I just did.
Okay. You don't want to mention any names or anything like that? Just leave it right there. Just go there, go watch it, find out for yourself.
Yeah, sure. No, you guys should definitely go check out. We got 2 series now. Glitch Pitch, the series where we talk about some of the games that are coming up that we want to feature or games that are already out and we want to talk about it. You can check it out for a quick
title.
No, it's the official title because
it's a working title.
Nope, it's the official title. We already have an intro. We talked about it. And you said yes, so it's
a working title.
No, I'm producing that. That's the title. And then Troy's also doing his title, which is
I don't feel like I got a decision on What the Glitch.
Welcome to
Pretty sure you did like it, and you agreed on it, and you made the logo yourself. So,
well, you know what? Maybe it's not called Glitch Pitch. Maybe it's called Glitch Feed. Sure.
Nope.
Maybe it's called Glitch
Itch.
Glitch Attack. Glitch.
Troy, you can create another show, and you can figure out the name for it. So, guys, check out the Glitch Pitch and What the Glitch, both on YouTube.
Didn't even promote mine. That's fine.
I did actually.
Nah.
I did talk about it.
Well,
would you like to promote your own?
No.
That's what we thought.
If you guys want to watch What the Glitch, you will actually see videos of us with our terrible webcams, but it's pretty interesting, and you'll see the elusive significant other.
Yeah, she's a good sport.
Mm-hmm. Which, by the way, I saw someone streaming the StarCraft virtual novel. There's some big streamer, too. 10,000 people were watching him stream this.
Jeez.
Damn.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a visual novel, not even a game.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well,
Cool.
That wraps it up for this week's Glitch Feed.
All right.
Hope you enjoyed the podcast. Of course, you can find it. Well, I forget. I'm not doing a live one, so you'll find it Saturday. Every Saturday. Yeah. And it will be up on iTunes, and of course, we'll have it up on YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe in other places in the future. We're working on that.
We'll find it.
Find it. Look it up. It's there. Glitch Feed, iTunes, YouTube. Bam.
Thanks for watching or
Take
listening.
Glitch it out. Still a thing.
No.
Yep.
No. End recording now.